Border protections have been ratcheted up again as New Zealanders continue to return home in droves. It comes after 2 new positive cases today. One is a teenage woman who arrived from Pakistan and was on the same flights from Doha and Melbourne as another confirmed case. The other case is a man in his 30s who has returned from India, again on the same flight as another confirmed case, and is staying at the Grand Millennium. The Prime Minister says with a steady increase in infections overseas, the world is entering a dangerous new phase, with now more than 8 million cases reported globally. She's also flagged the future possibility of people being asked to help cover the cost of their quarantine or managed isolation. The government's admitted to some failings, in particular 2 women being allowed to leave without being tested, then later testing positive. The Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, says a new health order is now in place.
To make it crystal clear that individuals must submit to testing and medical exams, including the potential of multiple tests. It also spells out that for a person to meet the low-risk indicator by day 14 in order to leave isolation or quarantine, they are expressly required to submit to a test, and that test must be negative.
And the ban on cruise ships due to expire at the end of the month has been extended by 2 or 3 months.
This order also sets out rules for very specific exceptions, such as cargo vessels being allowed to load and unload, fishing vessels to unload and resupply, and vessels to come to New Zealand to undertake repair and refitting. However, for any vessel in a New Zealand port, crew who are coming into New Zealand must complete a 14-day period of managed isolation here, unless they have been on the boat for more than 28 days.
More than $80 million has already been spent on quarantine and managed isolation facilities, but Ms Ardern says protecting New Zealand through strong border controls is the priority. But Ms Ardern says the government may look to share that cost.
I expect that we will be considering as a cabinet the option of co-payments very shortly, within coming weeks. But what is an absolute bottom line is that quarantine will remain. It is one of the most important parts of our ongoing strategy in a world where COVID continues to spread.
The government has budgeted nearly $300 million for quarantining and managed isolation up until the end of the year. However, it might not end up costing that much if co-payments are imposed. Cabinet ministers also agreed to an ongoing surveillance testing regime, both within the community and for those at high risk, for example, working at the border.